Alright, today we're talking about the VEVOR Deli Slicer, pros and cons. Cons, watch out for the back here. Make sure you loosen this peg so that you can actually adjust without messing everything up and bending it. Slides really good. We are seeing a depth of, 12 millimeters or something on here. Some of the little tabletop 7.5 inch slicers are getting down to 16 millimeters. This could or could not be a deal breaker for you. If you are pairing it with the VEVOR bone saw, then it's definitely not a problem. But I did notice that for me it wasn't a problem. We did get the 10-inch depth out of this. Anything that I want of a thicker slice I can take over to the bone saw. It is very easy to slide. There is springs at the end to kind of give you a little bounce there where you won't really feel like you're like dong and banging it, right? Which I kind of do appreciate because I work rough myself. I tend to, right? Either way, I'm a hobbyist, right? So I did like having the little springs there. The auto sharpener, which is awesome. You do have to like flip it up and turn it to actually use it. It gets used that way, right? So, and then while it's spinning, you squeeze the pegs, right? It's sharp. Now it's in actual cut mode. Okay, right? And you go, right? So make sure you pay attention to locking all your pieces back into position so that this thing ain't flopping around on you. Make sure you pay attention to this back peg here, right? So that you're not bending your top flap here and there's no air in between like there is right now in my sitting position, right? And where it's bending, putting the meat through. Now, I did eggplant on this night before last. We made some eggplant parm. We set a decent depth. We threw the eggplant through it. We did get a little bit of blade bendage from it, but we still got really kind of good slices. When we went shallower though, right, it was perfect. Now, we thought the eggplant would be a good example because it was like that really hard skin kind of, right, but pliable, but then that really soft inside, right? Keep in mind, this thing is made to cut things like bologna, ham, cheese, right? Pre-processed, kind of like slicing hot dogs, you know, and stuff like that. So putting vegetables through it is, I think, a good test, especially that these are the smooth blades. Some of these 7.5s are serrated blade, which does make it easier to cut through like some stuff. But that's not really, you know, when you do a deli meat with that serrated 7.5, it's not going to come out a smooth piece of, you know, bologna, smooth piece of ham, smooth piece of cheese like you would normally get from the store, right? You're going through it with a serrated blade. You know, imagine trying to cut cheese with this here. You know what I mean? That's not what that's made for, right? So yes, I think that this has been a great success over here in my kitchen.
Slicer works well, works as expected. However, it's difficult to clean in areas like this. It does not include instructions on how to disassemble all this stuff and put it back together. So, works pretty well. The cleaning part really sucks, and you have to clean these all the time to keep them sanitary.